Hey guys, how's everyone doing? And today we are back again with another episode of the Starting to Wonder series. Now we have finally made it to the third episode of this month, which means that I have officially been doing the Starting to Wonder series for 3 months now, without missing a week. Like, I've made this a weekly thing for 3 months now, and that is really amazing. Now I'm not sure if that counts, if like the Artist of the Month episode of this month is going to count. I mean, of course I'm definitely still going to try and do something for Artist of the Month, but I think it's safe to say that I've actually been doing this for I have made this a weekly thing for 3 months now, so I think it is safe to say that, and I am really proud of myself. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I've put a lot of hard work into this, and I don't even know. I'm not even entirely sure why it means so much to me. Like, I know I love connecting with other artists and like talking about artwork, but I guess also it gives me something to do. And I've also said before that it is a lot like meditation. You know, just being able to set everything aside to just talk about artwork, and not really having to worry about anything else. But I feel like there's something more to it. Like, I feel like there's something more to the fact of like why I like to make these videos. So the fact that I have actually been able to put the commitment in and to actually make this series like a weekly thing, that's something pretty incredible, and I'm actually really proud of myself. I'm glad that I could have done these Starting to Wonder series, and even just listening to some of the earlier uploads, and I know there aren't really that many because, you know, it is only a weekly thing, and 3 months of something, you know, weekly, I guess really isn't that many in quantity, in numbers, but it still like means something to me. Like, even if you watch like the earlier episodes, you'll see that the audio and the quality, you know, just the videos aren't that great, but as I like progress and I like watch each progressing video, I notice that the videos do get a little bit better, especially in audio quality, but also in other aspects that I couldn't have even I don't know, thought of or predicted. So anyway, I just thought I would open up this video, this episode with you know, just me talking about the Starting to Wonder series. So this is kind of like a special episode. So anyway, of course we have some more great artwork, and I guess I'm just going to go ahead and just get into some of this artwork, and hopefully I'll be able to do this all in one take without having to start over, because side note, sometimes I can record these episodes in just like one take, one sitting, and that'll be it, and it'll be like so amazing and such a big relief to only be able to do it in one sitting. But sometimes it can actually take me several tries and several takes to actually get the episode right. I don't know why though. It's completely random, and I never know how it's going to go. Hopefully this will be like one of those times where I can just record it in one take and that'll be it. So anyway, about the artwork, let's just go ahead and get into some of this artwork. I'm really, of course, I'm always excited to talk about artwork. I mean, this is really amazing. I love doing this. So anyway, our first artwork is called The Eternal Journey, and this is a really mysterious looking painting. And again, if you take the title into account, see, like, you always want to pay attention to the title of whatever the artwork or art piece that you're looking at is, because you know, it is the title of the art piece, so it is the thing that's going to tell you, or at least guide you towards like the meaning of the piece itself. So if we think about the meaning of like the phrase "an eternal journey," and this piece of artwork, which we see, it looks like a person. They're they're either standing or walking towards like a bright light in like a dimly lit forest. So I feel like there are actually a lot of meanings that this could have. I mean, they're walking towards like a bright light, so my first thought is that this could have something to do with death, and that could be more evident because of the fact that it looks like a dark forest, so the dark forest could be a sign of death, or like going through the journey of death. And you know, there's a bright light, so that could represent like the afterlife, I guess. But I guess something else that this could mean is maybe something not really much to do with death itself, but maybe about life instead of death. Maybe like going through life, and the dark forest is life. I mean, there are a lot of challenges that you know that we go through in life, and life is full of challenges, and you know, things that you need to overcome and things you need to go through, much like a dark forest. I know it's kind of like a strange analogy, but I would understand if that was the case with this piece. And of course, if that were the case, then that would also mean that the bright light at the end of this forest would also mean that, you know, at the end of every dark journey when you're going through life, you know, at the end of every you know, obstacle or challenge you go through, there's always going to be a, you know, bright light, you know, at the end of the path you're taking, the road you're taking, whatever you want to call it. There's always going to be something bright, you know, at the end of the road. So I feel like this could have something to do, that this eternal journey that this piece is referring to could have something to do with either life or death, or maybe even both. I don't know, but and I'm not sure who. I think the character, like this person, it looks like a person who maybe has like an umbrella. They're just standing there. They're either standing there or walking towards the light. I don't know if they're walking into like towards like the viewer, but I have a feeling that they're walking away from the viewer towards the light. I don't know, but that's just my impression. I think that the person standing there is supposed to represent everyone, really just whoever is looking at the piece, and they're supposed to like see themselves standing there, which would make sense, seeing as how they left them, you know, pretty vague. They don't have a lot of details, so I think if that were the case, then maybe they did a great job at really just leaving it open to interpretation, so that way you can see yourself standing in that this painting right here. But I definitely like this simply because of the fact that it definitely makes me question and wonder about what the meaning could be. I mean, the eternal journey, it definitely makes you think and question, and that's also something that I really like about artwork. You know, I mentioned in my last few videos, you know, how I like art that's colorful and has meaning, but something that I didn't mention was also art that makes you think. Like if there is a particular art piece that makes me think about something or wonder about something, then naturally that's also something I am drawn to. So I'm not sure what this could be about, but I love how it makes me think and like theorize about what the meaning could be. So anyway, next up we have another traditional art piece titled Lighthouse, and this is just an acrylic, I believe it's acrylic painting of, you know, just a lighthouse. It looks like it's sunset, you know, the sun is setting, the stars are coming out. This is a wonderful piece of art. Again, there's lots of colors, so of course, you know, I loved this piece, you know, instantly. And I think there might even be an ocean. I got like this ocean, you know, just in the background, I guess. I guess maybe like this could be located like on a shore or something. But this is a really, I don't know, just serene, you know, just art piece. It has like a silent feel to it. this, it's like a very just soft glow about it. Like it's not like, I don't know how to describe this. Like whenever like describing like the energy or impression that like a piece of art, that a particular art piece will give me, or like the interpretation that I get from like a certain like piece of artworks, like energy or something. It's really hard to describe feelings in like constructs, things that you can't really see, but more along the lines of having to like feel. And those are the types of things that are kind of difficult for me to describe. But physically, from what we can see, I really love, again, the colors and the, just a subtle, just shifting from the turquoise and light blues. Really beautiful, just colors. I mean, especially the blues, like in the middle, where it goes like from the light blues to the dark blues of like the night sky, and the transition from like the sunset to the night sky is really something amazing. And meaning wise, I'm not sure if I can interpret a particular meaning. My first impression is I can't really find a meaning. It doesn't seem to have a meaning. It's just a really beautiful, just serene, just setting of like this lighthouse. It's just sitting, of course physically, we can see it's just a lighthouse just sitting what appears to be like a shore, and the sun is setting. I'm not sure, I feel like it could have a meaning, but I'm just not able to interpret it. But still, it definitely is something that makes you stop and wonder. And of course that's also why I featured it in this week's episode, because it makes you wonder. And what you'll notice in this episode, there are actually I actually found a lot of artwork that did make me wonder, and so that's naturally why this episode is full of almost mysterious artwork. So anyway, next up we have another traditional art piece titled Cherrying, and of course this is another piece of artwork that features of course cherry blossoms in it, or the sakura trees of Japan. Now, as of right now, I think I've talked about this, the cherry blossoms of Japan, for the past like 2 episodes, because for the past 2 episodes I've had a piece of artwork that featured like that had like cherry blossom trees in it. And so what I did was I just like talked about Japan and the cherry blossoms and how they blossom in the spring. But as of right now, though, I haven't read this anywhere. I haven't updated myself on what's been going on in Japan lately in regards to like the cherry blossom trees. But my instincts tell me that the cherry blossoms of Japan may have already blossomed, and they're no longer like the beautiful white, fluffy, just beautiful settings and this colors that they are whenever they blossom in spring. So I feel like the Haname may be over. Who knows? It might still be going on in maybe like the upper like northern, really northern parts of Japan. But for the most part, I feel like the Haname festivals in Japan have passed. And if you want to understand more about what I mean by Haname festivals, then if you want to understand more about what I'm talking about when I say Haname festivals, then just watch the last the first week's episode of April 2017, because in that episode I'm basically just referencing what I talked about in that episode. Again, that was like 2 episodes ago, and I basically talked about like how in Japan they have the Haname festivals, like whenever the cherry blossoms start to blossom in the spring, and it's like really beautiful. So if you want to know more about that, then just go back and watch that episode. You'll have to find it on your own, because I don't feel like linking it in the description. That would just be too much work. Don't ask, don't judge me. Next up we have actually a photography piece titled Stranger, and this is an incredible just photograph. I'm just completely amazed, and this definitely makes me wonder. It's definitely a real like mysterious piece. It almost looks like a watercolor painting, to be honest, and I feel like it could be painted. It would look really awesome as a painting, but like this, it's so mysterious, and that's what I really love about this photography piece right here. I mean, there's someone, of course, a stranger, someone we don't know who this person is. Of course that is the reason why it's called a stranger, because we don't know who this is. We can't even see any features on whoever this is, so clearly they are a stranger, and that was a very appropriate name for this photography piece right here. A stranger, they are a stranger. We don't know who they are. We can't see any of their features. All we can see is their shadow and their silhouette, as well as the footprints that they're leaving. So I don't know if this has any meaning, but if you really want to interpret it as having a meaning, and who knows, it might not even have any meaning at all. It might just be a really cool photo. But if you want to look a little deeper, I mean, of course, all art is open to interpretation. So if you want to find a meaning in something, then of course you can find a meaning in something if you want to find meaning. But if you don't want to, and you just want like a particular piece of artwork to just be interesting, then that's fine too. But if you want to interpret a meaning in this one, then I guess it could be how maybe, I don't know, maybe you meet someone in your life, you don't know who they are, but they leave like impressions in your life, and despite like not knowing anything about them, not knowing who they are, not even just knowing what their name is, but they can still like strangers can still leave either positive or negative just impacts in your life. And so I guess that would explain like the footsteps, but I personally don't see any meaning in this. I feel like there could be a meaning in this, I just can't interpret it, I just can't find it. But I definitely feel that this is a very mysterious piece, and the fact that it was titled Stranger is very appropriate and very intriguing. It definitely made me wonder, and this is what I meant by how a lot of the artwork that I featured in this week's episode is really mysterious, and I love it. I love this artwork, and I love this photograph. It's really something incredible, something to think about. So next up we have a traditional piece of artwork titled The Forgotten Town, and again, it's a really mysterious painting that really makes you think, and it kind of makes you wonder. Again, it really does make you wonder, and that's why I featured this artwork in this week's episode. A forgotten town, we can see the stars, and at the bottom we can see a silhouette of a town that almost looks like a city. So as I thought about like the meaning of like the title, A Forgotten Town, and try to think about how this could relate to this piece right here, it actually made me think of like a city instead of a town. And when I think of like a forgotten city or town, I actually think of Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, or maybe just like for some reason like the Roman Empire came to my head, the forgotten, that would be like a forgotten empire. The Roman Empire, it wasn't a city, it was many cities that together made the Roman Empire. But this definitely seriously did make me wonder and think about the meaning. It's just a forgotten town or city, if you will, if you want to interpret it that way, and it's forgotten, and clearly there aren't any people here, or whoever previously inhabited this quote forgotten town no longer lives there anymore, and no one inhabits this place or thinks about this place anymore. No one even thinks about this place anymore, because again, it's a forgotten town. So it's just been abandoned pretty much, and now it's just looking up at the beautiful stars in the night sky. And so this is you see, it's artwork like this that you really want to stop and it's just you really want to stop and think about the meaning and ask yourself a few questions like, I wonder what this could mean, and just think about like the meaning in your head. Of course, that's not something you have to do, but something that is really fun and interesting to do is just to think about like what certain artwork can mean, because there's a lot you can say and make someone think when you make a particular piece of artwork. And it definitely, artwork definitely has an impact on people when you like make something. You have, as the artist, as the creator, you have the power to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have the power to, leave impressions on people and affect how other people think. That's not the term I'm trying to think of, but it's the best one. It's the closest thing that I can think of right now to what I am actually trying to say. But you have the power to just impact people. You can impact people through your artwork, and you can make people think about something and wonder about something. You can, make a person just feel something, and that's something that I definitely try to do in my artwork. I try to make people feel things whenever I do a particular painting. Mostly, I just leave the meaning up to interpretation. Like, I typically don't prescribe like a certain meaning to my artwork. Sometimes I will talk about what I was feeling when I made the artwork, but when it comes to the painting itself, I'll typically just leave the meaning up to the viewer, the beholder, and that's something that I think is really amazing about artwork. There's just something about artwork that's just so powerful. I mean, there's like power when you make artwork, but it's really hard to describe. So anyway, I really like this piece. I really loved all the artwork that I featured in this week's episode. And before I move on, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of the artists that I have ever featured on the Starting to Wonder series for the past 3 months. I want to give a big thank you to all of the artists who allowed me to use their artwork. I've never gotten anyone who's told me, no, I don't want my artwork featured, on YouTube or whatever. Everyone has been extremely nice, and I really appreciate it. So I just want to give a big shout out to all of the artists that I have ever featured on the Starting to Wonder series, because I really appreciate it. Now, before I move on to the end card, I also wanted to mention that this week's Artist of the Week was the artwork that I actually featured in my last video, titled Bittersweet, and I actually made an Artist of the Week for this week, because the meaning was just so incredible. And the reason why I didn't make it the fifth piece of artwork that I usually do in this episode, and just decided to make it, its own thing at the end or whatever, was because I did that last week, and I really didn't want to have to feature the same piece of artwork twice in the Starting to Wonder series again, because I did that with the previous Artist of the Week, and I don't know why. I just feel like I want to add variety, and if I do that, then I feel like I'm taking variety away from the artwork that I feature on the Starting to Wonder series. I'm not sure if that's only the thing that bothers me about it, but I just feel like there's just something that bothers me about it. And also, I don't want to feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over again by presenting certain artwork over and over again. So I don't know what it is, but this is a really beautiful piece of artwork. If you want to hear me talk about it, definitely watch the previous episode. Again, you have to find it on your own. I'm not going to link it in the description or anything, because I'm too lazy to do that, and that would be a lot of work, and I put alright, so let me go back on that. It's not because I'm too lazy to do it. It's because I've already put a lot of work into doing this, not to mention the fact that this month has been very busy for me. And I know it doesn't seem like much, why can't you just take a little extra time to just add something in the description? Because it's not just adding something to the description, because I'm already so busy, and I went a whole lot out of my way to make pretty much all of the videos for this month, all 3 of these Starting to Wonder episodes, and to add something in the description would just be even more work, and it's complicated. So anyway, just don't judge me, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Or what's wrong with me? Alright guys, so we are at the end of the episode now, fortunately. So we have my social media here. Go follow me on all of those. The links are in the description. Also, we have my website. Go check out my website. You'll be able to find everything Spirit Star City there, and more. You'll also be able to like find like the artist of the week, artist of the month, and like feature artists and things like that. I do feature artists on my channel. I feature the artist of the week on my not my channel. I meant to say my website. I feature the artist of the week on my website, and I've been doing that for a while now, and you should really go check it out. Like every time like I feature an artist of the week, like I'll write a really interesting blog post on each piece that I feature. I used to call it I'll write like a critique about each piece of artwork, but I'm not sure I can call it a critique, so to speak, because I'm pretty sure critiquing requires like analyzing both the good and the bad parts of certain artwork, and I just don't feel comfortable talking about things that I don't like about artwork, because one, I'm just not comfortable doing that, and two, I just can't do that. Like whenever all of the artists that I feature, I just love this artwork so much that I just can't find anything bad to say about it. So I just don't think I can rightly call it critiquing anymore. So I don't know what to call it, but just because of a lack of a better word, I'm just going to continue calling it critiquing anyway, just because I can't find a better word. So thank you all for watching this special episode of the Starting to Wonder series. I really appreciate it. I don't know how long this episode is. These are usually pretty lengthy. But if you stuck around to the end, then hey, I really appreciate it. This was a really special episode, and I really enjoyed making this episode. So thank you all for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys again at my next video. Whenever that will be, I don't know. Maybe it'll be another Starting to Wonder episode, or maybe it'll actually be like an actual video. I haven't done an actual video in a while. I should probably get working on that. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.